Some people are going to think with what I've been covering with data centers and water shortages, particularly in large geographic areas in the Southwest where droughts are terrible. The dams are near the ability to not release water because of low water levels, which will affect electrical output, could stop it altogether. Water access, they can't even pump the water out of the basin, for example, if the dam at Glen Canyon goes 35 feet lower. I could go on and on. But some people say, Dave, that's the Southwest. Sucks for you. I'm in New York. I could give a crap. I'm in Maine. I don't care. I'm in Michigan. I don't care. We got the Great Lakes. It doesn't matter. It's all right. And I'm going to say to you, you better pay attention because I just found an example and I had kind of I don't know, word of knowledge from the Lord, or I just happened to think about this. And I went and researched it. And lo and behold, what I found the fact that 8 more states need to be really worried. At the end, I'll show you a map that demonstrates visually what I'm talking about. But I went to Grok and I posed a question based on known facts. And the known fact was this: T. Boone Pickens was trying to buy up the water rights by buying certain land, influencing certain city and county governments. Oh gosh, back in about 2008, 2009, 2010. And I said, we can't let one guy in his business interest control this much water for 8 states. And I'd actually covered this in print. In fact, I believe I published this. This is pre-website. I published it over on freedomsphoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S. You could probably go and keyword search it, the Ogallala Water Reservoir. Actually, it's called the Ogallala Aquifer. And so what I did is I took that memory and I went to Grok and I started wondering, are data centers prevalent in a huge water supply at the Ogallala Aquifer? Because I know that T. Boone Pickens tried to acquire that. So I asked the question. I'm going to walk you through the progression of questioning I did. And then I'm going down the wrong path, as you'll see. And then voila, I asked the right question finally, and I got an answer that should worry all of you. And then I'll conclude with showing you the map because this is really, really concerning. We are brought to you by the good people at Magic Dicall that have the Nanosoma products. Exhibit 1, the product that I believe saved my life, the liquid spray. 5 sprays once a day, maintenance dose, doesn't do anything for you except it boosts your immune system to unbelievable levels. And this is what you need on your side to combat this toxic environment we're living in. Every medicine chest should have this. Now, if you start getting active, you go, I feel better. Immune system's great. But then the joint inflammation, the old pains, bone on bone, all that stuff starts. You need a product that's going to put pluripotent stem cells into the area. Well, we have that right here with the gel. The gel is fantastic. It took me 6 to 8 weeks to get relief to where I could start to do things like squats and deadlifts and run sprints again. And then there's the skin cream. Together, it's the 3 pack, 15% off. Go to iwantmyhealthback.com/Dave Hodges. iwantmyhealthback.com/Dave Hodges. Now, lengthy intro, I know, but I had to set the stage for what you're going to see right here. So this is a transcript of the progression of thinking I went through about this problem, which I believe if it's true, you add 12 states to 8 states, you got 20 of the 50. Now, I don't know that we can count Alaska and Hawaii, so really you got 20 of the 48. You're over a 40% problem. And I said this was going to spread and grow to other areas. The knowledge of this is coming to me faster than I anticipated. Data centers are an anathema to water supplies, both to the rates and then ultimately the availability. This is really, really scary. Okay, so I asked the question, does T. Boone Pickens, now he passed away and I did not know that, does T. Boone Pickens' interests still control many water rights of the Ogallala water aquifer? Okay, no, T. Boone Pickens' interests do not control many water rights to the Ogallala. Notice they said many. So there's probably entity of his surviving his passing that does. The keyword many in quotes is very telling. I didn't pursue that part of it because I was looking for a link. T. Boone's Pickens passed away in 2019. His major water play was through Mesa Water in 2000s, early 2010s. He acquired rights to large tracts of 150 to 211,000 acres, mostly in Roberts County, surrounding the Panhandle areas in the Texas portion of the Ogallala Aquifer. And I said, he's moving north. And if he gets his way, he'll own this water supply all the way through Nebraska up to South Dakota. I said, this is what power, too much power for one man. Okay, so in 2011, Pickens Mesa Water sold the bulk, not all, okay, to the Canadian River Municipal Water Authority, a regional supplier serving cities in the panhandle of Texas, for $103 million. This transferred the majority, not 100%, of the commercial scale rights that T. Boone Pickens had assembled. He retained some personal rights under his Mesa Vista Ranch. Okay, so current status as of 2026. So we're going through the process here to show you data centers eating up water and the fact that they're being built on these aquifers are not an accident. There are no recent reports indicating Pickens estate family or affiliate entities dominate or control many interests in the Ogallala water rights. They did. The big transfers happened over a decade ago. True, that's when I covered it. The rules have tightened since then. Well, damage done. The Ogallala continues to face depletion issues overall, but Pickens' specific large-scale commercial control ended with that 2011 sale. So now we got to focus on that company they sold to. So here's what I went down and I asked the next question. Is the Canadian River Municipal Water Authority selling water rights along the Ogallala water aquifer to any data center related interests? Okay, so here's the answer I got, and be very discerning in how you read the verbiage here, because I think it's telling. No confirmed evidence that the CRMWA is directly selling Ogallala water rights to data center interests. Okay, their role is a municipal water authority supplying raw water to 11 member cities in the Texas Panhandle and South Plains, and they list some of the cities here via their aqueduct system. Okay, now there is significant concern and ongoing debate about data centers, including AI/hyperscale projects in the Texas Panhandle, such as proposals near Amarillo, Fermi America project in Carson County. Cities like Amarillo, a CRMAW member, have discussed potential water deals with data center developments. Okay, so we've made the link. I think you can see now we're really starting to get warm in this. But these involve municipal allocations rather than CRMWA directly selling rights. True. So I came down to here and I said, okay, lights on now. I got to ask a better question. Are any CRMWA related third parties or subsidiaries selling water to data centers? Because a big company doesn't want to get caught up in the PR nightmare, especially what's going on today with the pushback against data centers. So I thought maybe we'll find third parties related to them or subsidiaries. Well, the answer is there's no public evidence. Okay, but remember, they had discussions. Let's continue. So I had to come back and ask a better question. I said, make sense? And that's my answer to Grok. What you're saying makes sense because data centers negotiate with governmental entities for water access. See, I'm bypassing the controlling corporate authority and going to who sets the regulations. And they're the ones that ultimately do the deal, and they could set sweetheart deals for the data centers like what I'm seeing here, not too far from my home in Arizona. Okay, now I like the respect that Croc gave me here. Yes, sir. Exactly right. Data centers, and they list that project again, almost always negotiate directly with governmental or quasi-governmental entities like cities, municipal water authorities, blah, 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 blah. Okay, there's your answer, folks. There is the answer. Now, how big is this problem? Well, let me demonstrate this for you. This is pretty interesting. I just love it when this happens. I had the map open that was listed on X. It's been taken down. And it was taken down since I started this publication. Isn't that interesting? Now, I have another way to research this, and I'm going to come and I'm going to do a follow-up in a later segment. Be short, sweet, to the point, but I'm going to find a map that illustrates this issue. But you can even probably Google it yourself. But the bottom line is, I don't know what they think they're accomplishing when they do this. I had the piece set. I was going to click onto it, show viewers, or describe it to listeners, and boom, it's gone. But the two surrounding articles, one by Candace Owens that I'm going to cover today, really interesting. Really interesting. We live in interesting times, don't we? Anyway, the supply of water is endangered increasingly across the country due to data center, I was going to say corruption, Freudian slip, excuse me. But the bottom line is we're all going to be affected by this eventually. This is a serious issue. How far is it going to go? I can't say, but I think we need to plan for the worst and take collective citizen action against this. More on that later. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here next time. God bless everybody.